So welcome to the kitchen I grew up in. This is the volunteer cook here from Knoxville, Tennessee. My name's Dave Campbell. Today we're making bruschetta for game day. And this is one of my sister's favorite recipes. So this is for you, Kim. It's real super easy. So for today, these are all the ingredients you're going to need. I'm going to add a little balsamic vinegar to this recipe today. Just give it a little zip it. You need fresh garlic. Woohoo! We're going to use canned tomatoes today and mix them with regular tomatoes. So you got basil, garlic, and oregano, diced California tomatoes, Del Monte. A couple of real tomatoes. Extra virgin olive oil. A little bit of balsamic vinegar. Fresh basil. Use fresh basil, it's the best. A little bit of Italian seasoning on the bread. And I like to use the sourdough, kind of French style bread right there. Just to let you know. And the 2 avocados here, we're just going to top it off with a little avocado just for fun. So grab your fresh garlic. Usually I use a garlic press for this, and take a couple of the garlic press and just roll it off and rolls the skins off kind of nicely. But I left mine at home, so we're just going to do it by hand today. Get us about that many cloves, something like that. I like a lot of garlic in mine. We'll just use that much. Right, so as you can see, they still got a little skin on them. We're going to use 6 of these small ones. Put this over the side, and you want to make sure that when you get it down to that, you can either do it by hand, which makes your hands smell good and garlicky, or you can cut off the ends and just peel off the rest of the skin. So once you get done, the skin looks like this, and it has a real smooth, smells like garlic, super good garlic. That's what you want all the pieces down to before we mince it, because we're going to mince the garlic, which means to cut up in little tiny pieces and put it into our mix. Alright? Okay, so you can do this the old-fashioned way, where you're just mincing it up like so, and it takes forever. Turn it this way, using a real sharp knife where you might cut yourself and all that, really small pieces, and it takes forever. But we're going to do it, we're going to use this little chopper, which a lot of you might have something similar, or you can use a little blender, something like that. A little chopper here, I'm going to put the lid on top, chop it up. And you want it good and minced, like so, that small. And you can always add more garlic later if you need more into your mix, because I like a lot. Alright, next we have the fresh basil here. You're going to take these off of the main stem here, and then we're going to wash all these, and then we're going to cut them up with our chopper just like we did before. Alright, let's go wash these. Once again, we put it in the chopper as so, but you can always use a knife if you don't have one, or whatever you like. You only need about a 1/4 cup. And so it just looks like that when you're done with it. Alright, so that's done for the basil. Put it in a bowl on the side. Alright, we're going to open our can of tomatoes and drain them. You're going to have olive oil in it later, so you don't really need too much water in there. So just drain those. Get that good and diced up. You just pour those in your mixing bowl. So far we have just a bowl of diced tomatoes with a little bit of fresh basil. We're going to add a little bit of fresh tomato as well. You can do the whole thing with fresh tomatoes if you like. I just like to use a little canned diced tomatoes to save a little time, and sometimes they're a little more flavorful. Always, boys and girls, make sure that you wash your veggies very well. You never know. Even though you get them from the grocery store, you gotta wash all the stuff off of them and dry that off. Tomato. there. As you can see, in here we just got our tomatoes, our fresh basil. Just kind of mix it all up. Alright, now you're just going to take a couple of teaspoons of olive oil. 1, 2, extra virgin olive oil. You can always add a little more later if you need some. We'll scrape our fresh garlic. Then we're going to salt and pepper it. Just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and we're going to mix it up again. Then we're going to take fresh Parmesan cheese, as you can see there, and just kind of sprinkle a lot in there. Be generous with it, and you can always add more later. That as well. Alright, we're looking good. Looking good. And now we're just going to take a little bit of balsamic vinegar, just dab a little bit on top there, and we're going to mix it all in. So we're about done mixing it up here. I always recommend throw it in the fridge and let it sit for a couple hours before you serve it. It always tastes a little better. A little heavy on the basil that time, but it tastes good anyway. So, we're going to add a little more Parmesan cheese when we put it on the bread and the avocado. And I'll show you how to cut the avocado here in just a second. But that's about it. Pretty simple. All you need is a little bit of olive oil. Just pour it in your coffee cup there. Might need a little more than that for the bread because it soaks it up. We're in the pit kitchen with the volunteer cook today. Go Balls. And Mr. Pete Campbell is here.
How are you?
Good. Dad, I kind of need something to baste this with. Do you have a basting brush?
Let me look here.
What we're going to do is we're going to take the olive oil here and baste all the bread here. What you got there?
Oh yeah, this is the one I used out in the shop to paint Kimberly's bookcase with. Here, you can use that.
Well, I guess that's going to work. Let's see here. I don't see any paint chips.
I cleaned it out real good with turpentine.
Paint thinner?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, we're going to use, you can use a regular old paintbrush. Make sure you haven't used it yet. He's kidding. We're totally kidding. But if you have a basting brush, use a basting brush. But I left mine at home. I'm in my dad's kitchen. Alright, so you got your olive oil here and your paintbrush like Bob Ross. We're going to use a little olive oil. Just paint it all up. Make happy little bread. Just like Bob Ross. This is the first installment by the volunteer cook. Go Balls. I bleed orange, but not on your food. Alright, so what we're going to do here, just take your old regular old Italian seasoning. Just sprinkle a little bit onto each piece there. Man, it's gonna be so good. Alright, set your oven to 350. We're gonna bake the bread until it browns in maybe 8 to 10 minutes. Alright? To add a little garnish on top, we're going to use a little avocado. Now wash the avocado because you're going to be cutting into it. The avocado has a seed in it. So what you want to do is you want to start on top. Once you hit the seed, you just kind of work yourself around to that, to where you started, and then watch this. Just twist right off, and there's the seed. You take out the seed, and then just peel the skin off like so. This one's quite ripe. And just take the avocado, cut it in half, and then start at the bottom, and just go down it like that. So nice and long. You can always cut these pieces in half again. Like that. So they look like so. And just to dress the avocado up a little bit, you're going to add a little more Parmesan cheese. Won't hurt anything to mix that on top. This is just going to be a garnish that you can put on top of each piece. Give it a little more oomph. Ta-da! Alright, and you have your finished product here. I'll zoom in so you can see it. Easy, crazy, bruschetta, the volunteer. Go balls.